On the evening of June 5, 2002, Salt Lake City, Utah, was enveloped in a serene tranquility. 14-year-old Elizabeth Smart peacefully slumbered in her bedroom, with her sister Mary Catherine resting beside her. At approximately 2 a.m., an unidentified individual stealthily entered their residence through an open kitchen window, using a knife to cut through the screen. This intruder, known as Brian David Mitchell, arrogated the title of a prophet and had meticulously planned this event for several months. Mitchell discreetly made his way into the girl's bedroom and, brandishing a knife against Elizabeth's throat, uttered menacing threats that would haunt her for years to follow. He warned her that her family would be killed if she uttered a sound. Gripped by abject terror, Elizabeth complied, and Mitchell led her away from her home, down the street, and into the desolate wilderness. Mitchell and Elizabeth journeyed through the night, eventually reaching a concealed encampment nestled in the foothills of the Wasatch Range. Waiting at the camp was Wanda Barzee, Mitchell's wife and accomplice. It was that very night when Elizabeth's worst fears materialized. Mitchell orchestrated a simulated marriage ceremony, declaring Elizabeth as his wife. Consequently, she became the victim of heinous abuse and endured daily violations. During the subsequent 9-month period, Elizabeth endured a constant state of peril. She was frequently restrained to a tree, obliged to wear robes and a veil, and completely cut off from the outside world. Mitchell, who considered himself a prophet, indoctrinated Elizabeth with his distorted religious convictions, asserting his divine entitlement to claim her as his spouse. Meanwhile, back in Salt Lake City, Elizabeth's family was engulfed in despair. The morning following her abduction, the Smart household was consumed by chaos and bewilderment upon realizing Elizabeth's absence. The authorities were promptly notified, and an immediate search effort was initiated. Friends, neighbors, and volunteers tirelessly scoured the vicinity, while law enforcement launched an inquiry that would soon become one of the most extensive and prominent searches in American history. Elizabeth's parents, Ed and Lois Smart, displayed unwavering determination in their endeavors. They made numerous public appeals, holding press conferences and distributing flyers bearing Elizabeth's photograph. Mary Catherine, who had feigned sleep during the abduction, was plagued by the memories of that fateful night. She struggled to provide a comprehensive description of the abductor. Months elapsed with limited progress, yet the Smart family persisted unwaveringly in their pursuit of a resolution. In October 2002, Mary Catherine experienced a sudden epiphany. She recollected the place where she had previously encountered the abductor. Mitchell, who operated under the alias Emmanuel, had briefly served as a handyman at the Smart residence. This significant breakthrough injected new life into the ongoing investigation. A composite sketch of Mitchell was promptly disseminated through the media, accompanied by fervent pleas for any information regarding his whereabouts. Meanwhile, Elizabeth's existence in captivity proved to be a distressing ordeal. Mitchell and Barzee frequently relocated their encampment in order to evade detection. They concealed Elizabeth by compelling her to don veils and robes, presenting her as a devout adherent of Mitchell's peculiar religious sect. Elizabeth's days were fraught with abuse and manipulation. Mitchell exerted complete control over every aspect of her life, ranging from her sustenance to her ability to communicate. Despite the perpetual fear and trauma, Elizabeth clung steadfastly to the hope of one day reuniting with her family. Mitchell commenced escorting Elizabeth and Barzee into the urban center, firmly convinced that his disguises were impervious to detection. On numerous occasions, they attended public gatherings, seamlessly blending into the throngs of people without arousing suspicion. Elizabeth's unwavering compliance with Mitchell's commands was paramount to her survival, as any display of resistance had the potential to incite violent behavior from him. In March 2003, 9 months following Elizabeth's abduction, a stroke of fortune altered the course of events. A passerby in Sandy, Utah, Mitchell, Barzee, and Elizabeth were observed walking together. At first glance, Elizabeth, concealed beneath a gray wig and veil, was utterly unrecognizable. The police approached the trio and proceeded to separate them for interrogation. Initially, Elizabeth's profound terror inhibited her from divulging her true identity. She harbored the apprehension that any misstep on her part could bring harm upon herself or her family. Nevertheless, the officer's unwavering persistence and reassuring demeanor gradually chipped away at her fear. They repeatedly inquired if she was indeed Elizabeth Smart, and eventually, in a hushed voice, she confirmed, "Yes, I am Elizabeth. The legal proceedings against Mitchell and Bar Z were protracted and intricate. Bar Z eventually pleaded guilty to her involvement in the abduction and received a 15-year prison sentence. Mitchell, on the other hand, sought to portray himself as mentally incompetent, asserting that his actions were guided by divine revelations. After undergoing extensive psychiatric evaluations and engaging in legal battles, Mitchell was deemed mentally competent to undergo trial. In the year 2011, he was found guilty on multiple charges, which included kidnapping and sexual assault, resulting in a life sentence without the possibility of parole. She has since emerged as a prominent champion for child safety and the rights of kidnapping and sexual assault victims. In 2013, Elizabeth entered into matrimony with Matthew Gilmore, and together they have embarked on the journey of starting a family. Elizabeth penned a memoir titled My Story, in which she recounts her terrifying ordeal and her subsequent path to recovery. Furthermore, she established the Elizabeth Smart Foundation, an organization dedicated to educating children about violent and sexual crimes, empowering them to speak out. The foundation actively collaborates with other entities to extend support to victims and promote preventative measures. Elizabeth's narrative has profoundly shaped society's comprehension of abduction and the process of recovery. Her advocacy work has resulted in significant policy and procedural changes concerning child safety and victim support. She has delivered speeches at numerous events, sharing her narrative and inspiring others to find resilience and hope in the face of adversity. In 2018, Elizabeth produced a documentary entitled Elizabeth Smart Autobiography, which provides a comprehensive examination of her experiences and the valuable lessons she has learned. By openly discussing her ordeal, she has played a crucial role in breaking the silence surrounding issues of sexual violence and trauma.
Thank you for watching this video. Hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos.